Hello and welcome everyone. It's Sonia G. This is the MoonBabes Monday Night Live. I am going to pin a comment so that you guys know what's going on. We are on later than usual tonight. It's a late night. Hi you guys. Hi Danielle. Hi Bobby. Hey you guys. Thank you for joining. Yay! I'm going to get my timer on as we get started just really quick so that I don't talk for 45 minutes because you guys know this does happen. It's a thing because then we get started talking and you know it does start. Okay, so happy week of a lot of things going on. Again, welcome you guys. I'm Sonia G. This is the MoonBabes Monday Night Live. We're gonna have a cosmic chat and I'm going to answer any questions that you have about the course. Hi. I see you guys joining. Thank you for joining. So we have an interesting energy that's happening this week, and this is really what I wanted to talk to you about. And it's, yes, there's like a million planets retrograde. There's like there are so many alliances, so many things happening in the stars, and there are these resets, right? It's about to be a new galactic year, and we entered this like 13-year cycle reset. It was a karmic cycle reset, Mayan calendar cycle reset. And it's like this month, July has been this month. We had the lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse. Well, first the solar eclipse, then the lunar eclipse. And it's just been this month that like, this is the energy of it, right? It's pushing us forward. It's like getting us to be rebirthed from the inside out. And a lot of it is because we have, I know I've talked about this before, but we have Chiron retrograde in Aries. It's causing us to really rebirth our own identity, like who we are in relationship to who we want to be, who we've been, and who we want to step into, the person that we want to be for ourselves. And really, we just don't have a whole lot of room to lie to ourselves, I want to say, to pretend like we're on path, right? It just doesn't work anymore. Like saying like, oh yeah, I think I'm doing good. It doesn't work. If you're not honest with yourself, if you're not doing the things that you know that your soul is asking you to do to be in alignment, it just feels wrong inside, and it's kind of at that point where we can't ignore that anymore. Whether that's like people, friends, family, things, businesses, anything related to life, even considering like the place that you live. The last 13 years have been so tumultuous. I'm so ready to move on the cycle. Yes, it's been, you know, it's all about how we manifest the progress that we want to have, right? So the last, you know, little while has been like this. It's been like this because this is what makes us like wake up. This is what brings our awakening forth. But this is a big new reset. And so right now we have like a huge opportunity to work with the cosmic energy. So Mercury has been taking us on this inner journey. Mercury went retrograde first in Cancer, right? Which is all the things home and all the things values. And then now it moved into Leo, which is the inner child. And kind of that stage presence and like that communication that just wants to come out, right? And wants to be the king or the queen. And the sun moved into Leo today. And so we're feeling this movement forward. And this is when the sun moves into Leo. This is when every year we reset the new galactic calendar, because then we get prepared for 8/8, which is the Lion's Gate. We start to have alignments with the earth, right? It's like these eclipses prepare us, and all these retrogrades prepare us. It's like the cleanse. It's like all of the green juices that we do for the body, but it's like the cleanse of the soul and the spirit. And a lot of people also are getting the purge, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like, it's time for like really our, like our bodies to cleanse too. And so we get things out of the way, we do a lot of the clearing, and then these alignments happen. And symbolically this month, we have the black moon that's happening on the 31st, which is the same day that Mercury goes direct. The black moon is the second new moon in a month. Kind of like when it's a full moon, it's a blue moon. If it's 2 full moons in a month, it's called a blue moon. This one's called a black moon, okay? And it resets the tone of the rest of the year, because the new moons up until now, since January 1st, we started with a new moon. So every month started with a new moon at the beginning and full moon at the end. And this reverses the cycle. So you like, it's just, the energy is just shifting. It's like flipping. And so starting in August, we're going to have first at the beginning of the month, we're going to have a full moon, not really at the beginning of the month, but first in the month, we'll have a full moon, and then we're going to have a new moon at the end of the month. And so the cycle kind of resets. You can see it if you kind of step back and, you know, and look at the whole picture. And we have this alignment, which is the Lion's Gate on 8/8, which is the Earth aligning with Sirius, which is the Earth's spiritual sun. In Egypt, it was depicted as the blue sun in the in all of the papyruses and the depictions and things. And the reason why it's, I think that's also why they call it Sirius FM, because it's like super radio signal. But anyways, so Sirius is a binary star. There's Sirius A and there's Sirius B, okay? The council, one of the councils, you guys by now know that there's many different councils that are in charge of different dimensions, different densities, right? When we start going outside of like 3D. So the council is, there's a council on Sirius, and this is where you can actually meet. It's like an exchange where you can meet the galactic family of light, and it's on Sirius B. It's an amazing place to visit. Those of you that have been in the Sacred Chakras journey with me have been to Sirius, and we have met the galactic family of light. And this alignment, literally, it's like a portal of energy, right, that aligns on the 8th. And so we're getting ready for that, because so much insight comes. That's the big deal. That's why it's called the spiritual sun of the Earth, because whenever it's closest and it's in alignment, right, whenever the information highway is in exchange, because there's that alignment, then you have this information that comes in. Well, we have to be ready to receive it. We have to be ready. And so if we do the work and if we do the cleansing, which the planets are clearly like making us do right now, right, then we can actually intake more. So we have to do this part. That's why, you know, a lot of it is clearing. A lot of it is clearing. A lot of it is not necessarily pleasant, but we process it, we do it, and, you know, we have to work with it. It's a lot of rewriting belief system. It's a lot of like, what do I want? How do I want to create this? You know, is what's showing up in my reality ultimately really what I want? Is this what I want to experience? Do I want to change it? How do I want to change it? How do I shift it? And so we do the work to move through it. And it's always about creating our reality, right? Taking charge, taking ownership, creating our reality. So what's happening as we prepare for this Lionsgate portal is, it's like the density. So if you, how do I explain this? Angels, help. So if we, imagine the Earth, imagine visualizing the Earth, right? So the Earth is like right here. It's getting smaller by the minute. The Earth is right here, and there's like lines of density. Kind of like if you look on a map, when you go, say, hiking, there's little lines that represent like the altitude of the feet. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but just imagine like, you know, circles around the Earth. And those represent like densities. Okay, density means how much light versus dark there is. So how much lighter you get. You know, you get around some people and you're like, ooh, like their energy is really low or it's really dense, right? And then you get around some people and you're like inspired and you're like, whew, their density is like super high, right? So it's kind of like that. So around the Earth, there are levels of densities, and they're kind of like waves, okay? So when we expand our consciousness and we can access these different levels, it's like little baby veils, you know, like veils of our memory. that get expanded. And as we access, as we're able to expand, as we're able to access consciousness from these higher planes, we get to tap in and be connected to time and space realities that are different. This is how our karma, this is a more specific explanation of how our karmic lines are coming through. A lot of us are doing work that clears out the karmic debts of our lineage, of our bloodlines, of our families' lines, of some parts of us are also for, you know, particular things that we wanted to take on to clear out because of our own past lives. So we're basically resolving karma, whether it's our own, whether it's our family life. And this is really showing up with a lot of blood related things lately. Like we've had a lot of like, I want to say issues of blood. Blood is coming up for a lot of people, whether you're ending up like with a bloody nose, like throwing up blood. I've had friends that have been in the hospital with like blood clots. Like blood is catching our attention. So pay attention to your blood, whatever that means to you. I know it sounds a little weird, but it's like our own DNA, our own knowledge that runs through our veins that wants to be heard right now. And so pay attention inwards. It just means spend time for yourself, spend time inwards, because these inner knowings want to be birthed from inside, right? This access. And it's kind of hard for anybody to teach the work and how to feel inside. And of course, you know, I always try and put these things into a way to explain it better, but articulating energy sometimes is hard because there's no reference in our vocabulary for the things that, you know, you feel or you see or you do, right? And so to expand, really, it's a function of how you feel inside. It feels like a wave that vibrates out, and then you connect, and you have to do this work. So I guess the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is you have to learn how to manage your astral body. It's coming down to that. You have to understand that you're not just the physical body, that you're also the astral body. So whatever you do in your work, in your life, in your daily life, you are not just what you see. You are beyond what you see, and the part that you don't see is affecting you. It affects the things that you do. If you guys read my post today, it affects, like, that's why we feel like we're like out of time. We feel like wobbly. We want to eat different foods. We have different like instincts to do different things. And it's kind of like we are readjusting, even though the world hasn't really changed from what you can tell with your eyes, but it feels like it's changed because it is shifting. And so it's like you have to learn that you're not just the part of you that you see. And not just that, knowing is step one, but then you have to learn to manage it. And you have to learn how to manage your higher consciousness, your higher self, your extended being. I'm going to come up with a good word for this. What do you guys think? Extended being. We need to come up with a word to describe the rest of us. So I will take suggestions. If you come up with something really cool, message me. But the point is, and then of course I'll ask the angels, but this is like our astral body, right? This is our spirit body, our astral body, our consciousness outside of the physical body. And we have to take that into consideration now, no matter what we do, okay? Which brings me to like the fact that we are all being pushed to step into our purpose, because we are embodying so much more of our light, so much more of our soul, that we can't do stupid things anymore. It just doesn't work, right? It just doesn't fulfill you. It feels like, what the hell am I doing in life? And then you feel lost. If you feel lost, you got to adjust. You got to come into alignment. Alignment is very important. And we really, the more we embody our soul, the more we're going to feel like we need to be on mission, and we are here with a purpose, and we are here to do the thing we came to do, to ascend the planet. This is what Goddess on Mission is about, is teaching you guys. This is a 10 weeks course that teaches you guys how to step into this purpose, how to figure out what you came to do, and how to work with these gifts that are coming up that you're kind of like, I think I can do this, maybe kind of, I don't know, right? Like, I think, but I feel like I'm meant to do something different and I don't know how to do it. That's what that course is for, is to help you put that into a structure, because energy follows structure. And so you have to have a framework, you have to have an understanding, and then you have to have a way of, you know, supporting yourself with it, supporting yourself through the gifts that you came to share with the world. And so that's what Goddess on Mission is about. I call it a course for spiritual entrepreneurs, because the truth is we need so many spiritual entrepreneurs, so many. This is where the power shift is happening. This is everything that's happening with the changes of the government, the changes in power, the changes in structure. And I don't want to get political, but this is the stuff that, like, Marianne Williamson, for those of you that, you know, follow what she's talking about, bringing love and bringing all of these things, we are shifting as a society, and we got to do the work behind it, right? To really bring this 5D energy. And some of us are at the forefront, and chances are that if you're here listening, this is the forefront, right? We are on the forefront. We got to do the job first. We're here, we volunteered, we're like, hell yes, I'll figure this out. I'm going to shine bright on earth. Let me do this thing. I am going to, you know, bring in the light, bring in the codes, beam out all of the ascension frequencies. I got this. I'm doing this for my people. And so this is, you know, more and more people are awakening. And then once you awaken and you have that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I have to learn all the things. I need to understand everything. And then it's like all this knowledge that comes in, all this access that opens up. Then it's like, now what? Now how do I function in society? And so we have to find the way to make that work, because our gifts are needed, right? What things healers are bringing on the planet are the things that are needed. So, okay, I see you guys having questions. Okay, Annie, do we have just infinite parts of us in different areas of the universe? I feel that pull and difference from elsewhere lately that is being affected by something big. Yes, so you do. And you're going to start, especially because Annie, I know that you are in the sacred chakras journey. And as you go through the modules, you'll start to understand more and more about the different planes of existences. But you do, we have parts of ourselves that we just don't have an awake connection to, an aware connection to, that are in different parts, in different planes of existences. And so sometimes, like, I remember when I first started feeling pulled, I was like, what is happening? And literally it's like, you know, you manifest guides that are from other dimensions, from other star systems, from other planets, from other densities, and they come and they're your teachers. And then either they are or they bring you, okay? So you get to meet yourself in another dimension as a guide. So parts of you that are more awake are coming to pick you up. They're coming to connect with you, okay? And then you, in turn, as we figure this part out, we get to connect with all of the parts of ourselves. And so this is why, this is something that, you know, with the shift, with the 2012 shift, as like the vibration of the planet kind of shifted, it was the end of one time, it was the beginning of another time. It was like some of the veils lifted and we started being able to move more freely in our light body, in our astral body, because before that it was more dense. Earth was more dense. This all happens out of, number one, the collective consciousness, number two, the cycles of the Earth's orbit in the universe. And, you know, we rotate together, like we're tied with the orbit of Venus. So we're very closely connected with Venus, which, by the way, in August, we also have, I can't remember which day, but there's a day that's specific with the cycles of Venus around the Earth. Venus and the Earth do a dance. They're tied together in this dance of ascension. Venus is like sister to the Earth. And if you go back to last year, I had a post on this, on the dance of Venus. And Venus, as it moves around Earth, creates sacred geometry. This is why the Pleiadians are usually the first guides, star beings, however you want to call them, that come and hang out and present themselves, right? Because they are in the Pleiades system, which is right there with Venus. So they're like our extended family, really. That's on Venus in higher frequencies. And so and they're very much involved and intertwined in this dance of these two planets. So our consciousness is like, ooh, we're raising the bar, we're meeting more parts of us, we're retrieving more parts of our soul. With that comes more knowledge. We got to clear out the stuff, right? So we're not just clearing issues from this lifetime, we're clearing issues from all the other parts, all the other things. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of that. What's that line in Wedding Crashers? This is such a bad reference. Why am I thinking of this? Angels, control, help, here. But you guys know when he says, like, we got to put mom on hold. We got a whole other bag of issues to work with in terms of therapy. That's what made me think about. It's like, it's not just about this life. We got a whole bag of other things to deal with, even though we're in this life right now. So Casey Ann, I'm so excited for Goddess on Mission. Yay! I am so excited that you joined too. I'm so excited for all those of you that have already registered. It's super exciting. And I can't really read the name. I don't know why it's so hard to read, but I am a writer in British Columbia. My readership is getting big. Please consider doing an article with me so I can share your message to Canada. Oh, you're so sweet. Will you do me a favor and message me? I'd love to chat with you. I won't be able to reread this message, so shoot me a personal message. Okay, can you teach me a trick to lucid dream easier at night? Yes, I can. Okay, lucid dreaming, first of all, comes from the throat chakra, okay? So one of the things that a lot of the guys, like a lot of the people that talk about, like Joe Dispenza and Eckhart Tolle and like all the guys that are out there talking about like the scientific parts of how the brain works, Greg Bernard, all of them. So there's 2 times, even Deepak Chopra. Let's go to Deepak Chopra. They talk about how there's 2 times during the day that you're most susceptible. Your subconscious, okay, which kind of is like right here, inhabits this region, is most susceptible to your input. That's early morning and night before you go to bed. This is when you are most receptive. Also, Abraham Hicks knows this, okay? A lot of people know this. So what you want to do before you go to bed, which is where a lot of people get on their phones. Don't get on your phone, okay? Right before you go to bed at night, get yourself in line with your higher self, okay? Like tune in, have your positive thoughts, and then decide, okay? You and your higher self decide, and just call in your guides, call in your angels, call in your higher self, bring your aura in, suck it in, okay? And this is where you really get to be aware with, with how you work with your body. And then focus on your throat, focus on your third eye, and you can call on Metatron. If you know how to use Metatron's cube, you can print it out and put it underneath your bed, and it will help you to hold you in that like higher frequency where you're protected. But also set the intention, either way, set the intention, okay? Focus right here, set the intention that you have to say it 3 times. I can and I will remember my dreams, or however you want to say it. That's how I say it. So however you decide, it is my intention to lucid dream. It is my intention to wake up in my dreams. It is my intention to access, my dream. However you want to say it, 3 times. Same thing 3 times. Okay. There's magic in that. And then just go to sleep. Don't think about anything else. Just go to sleep. So like set that in motion and then let it go. And then what I've learned is that it may take a couple of times, okay, for you to actually get with that. But once you do, if you don't remember your dreams, because for a while I was getting really frustrated with my guides because I was like, why am I not remembering things? Like we made this deal. I made this deal with my higher self. So I went and talked to my higher self. I went and talked to my people. I went and talked to God, angels, universe. Because when you have, you start to have these conversations and you're like, okay, why? And so the reason why is because sometimes we access and we do things in our sleep that we are not, like our own higher consciousness is protecting us from remembering. So we're doing sacred things in higher dimensions that we're not allowed to know as of yet. So keep that in mind, okay? So I hope that helps you. All right. I had a seraphim come to me yesterday. Oh, I love that. Yay. Aloha from Hawaii. Dory, you're in Hawaii. Yay. Bobby, I was feeling ascension symptoms big time yesterday. Pain in my ear. I had to astral travel and meditate to feel better. Isn't that amazing that like we use, great job, Bobby. Like we use astral travel as like medication instead of meditation. Because whenever you're feeling symptoms, all you have to do is like get yourself into a higher frequency than where the symptoms are showing up, okay? And so you can do all sorts of things. You can go, you know, whatever works for you to clear density. I have found that for me, astral travel, astral projection is the fastest because I can just go and get the frequency that I'm looking for and download it. So it's like a software download straight into what you're going to be. And this is part of the work, by the way, that we're going to be doing in Goddess on Mission. So even though we're working on business, this is very much integrated with all of the higher knowledge and higher consciousness because we're talking about a business of higher consciousness. So we're going to be doing quantum leaps. We're going to be working with I want to say esoteric or occult principles, right? To bring our knowledge in, to get in alignment. And it's not a scary word. Those are just, you know, what was it that I put a quote by Thoth today in my post because it's like, it's just about the things that we don't know. Mysteries is just science that is not explained, right? Occult or esoteric is just something that we don't understand. And so we call it something that's like, ooh, scary. But, you know, at one point they felt that way about planes and things that flew in the sky, right? Because there was no way that was going to happen, but now it does. And so it's just science that hasn't been discovered yet or hasn't been talked about or has not been allowed to be talked about because otherwise too many people in power, too many people doing amazing things. Oh, good. I'm glad that this is helping a lot. Yes. Okay, Jackie says, my ears are going crazy. So tired and zapped all of my energy. Today I woke up sad but couldn't remember my dream, but it was sad and very emotional. So you may be clearing in your dreams, Jackie. And so a lot of things are happening. And also this is about shifting with like consciously shifting. Remember that when you walk the path of light, you will be tested, okay? So a lot of times it's this mental thing that we have to wake up and consciously get ourselves in alignment, consciously step into our higher self, consciously stepped into that energy of 5D, of higher heart, right? Because otherwise it literally is, if you guys could just see, if we could, I choose not to look at this all the time because it's not pretty. Like as much as there are pretty things to be seen, right? When you look with your third eye all around, there are always things that are trying to get, you know, there's always, it's like the waves that we don't see. Like we don't see microwaves, we don't see Wi-Fi waves, we don't see, you know, airdropping waves, whatever. There's a million things happening in the air, antennas, radio signals, like there's all sorts of faxes. Like, can you imagine how much there is going on in the air that we don't see, right? There are things that are like, it's like the bombarding of like collective unconsciousness, thoughts and things, and, you know, sometimes negative entities and things that just want to get in your mind and like just, it's that mental war. And so every day you have to recommit to yourself. Wake up, recommit to yourself. And yes, a lot of us are doing other things and, you know, working through stuff in our dreams. But remember that it's like, okay, you know, I'm here and I'm going to step into, and it doesn't mean don't feel your feelings. Don't get me wrong. Just don't allow external sources to get you in a lower vibrational state, because that's not what we're meant here to do. So, but we are definitely meant to work with our feelings, our emotions, and the things that we are, you know, sometimes like I wake up and I think, what just happened? So it kind of just, you know, it just really depends. So, and you have to use your intuition. By now, that's, you know, that's the thing. Lucky Fairy, I'm feeling such a strong need to ground right now. I'm walking barefoot outside. Oh, yay, holding sacred object in my hands, etc. I feel like Mother Earth is trying to help with all of the changes right now. Yes, so a lot of it is really we are recalibrating into this new consciousness, into this new wave, into this next cycle. So it's like what we were talking about with the map, like the cycles of consciousness around the planet, like the densities. And so we have to reground into a higher density. It's like if we were climbing a mountain, right? You get to higher elevation and you have to like kind of adjust your breath and your lung capacity, and then your body kind of gets physically used to it. So that's kind of what we're doing. And it is so exciting because we're moving through a lot, you guys. We're moving through a lot. It's like everything in the universe is buzzing. It's like, oh my gosh, it's go time. And if you pay attention, you can feel it inside. Like there are some things that may be difficult. There's a lot of challenges that may be coming up, but look at the blessings and the opportunities on the other side of those, because everything is really pointing us to where we need to go. And so we need to start like looking at things as the director of our lives. It's like, okay, why would I plant this for myself, right? Why would I choose to manifest this? What is this calling my attention to? What is on the other side of this thing? Why would I set myself up for this? How do I get to where I want to go with this thing here, but I really want to be here, right? Or whatever. And so we really get to like course correct and direct. We get to direct our life. We get to create where we want to go, instead of being like, well, I just have to get through this and then, you know, I can breathe, or I just have to do this. It's like, we can't, we really have to start living consciously. We have to get a hold of ourselves. If, you know, we're not where we want to be, then we have to learn the tools to get ourselves, like Bobby was saying, travel to higher consciousness and download those higher frequencies. Like do the things that you need to do in order to elevate your state of being, in order to elevate your frequency and vibrate higher. When you vibrate higher, you don't feel all the feelings that come in. But yes, there's a lot of, sorry, I didn't address this earlier. There's a lot of like ears and there's a lot of like throat. So it's still hitting this area right here, right? The majority of us have all gone through the heart activation. Throat is next. It's like throat, ear. It's like the, oh, there's a doctor. What's the doctor called for your eyes, nose, throat? I can't think of the name. Anyways, but it's this section because these are all connected, and our third eye. And so all of these abilities are coming in and opening up. And so it's like our ears are starting to get used to listening to different sounds, sound frequencies, and different things. So today I was hanging out with Thoth. I don't, for some reason I say Thoth. And kind of really just pondering some concepts through with the emerald tablets. Why? He's coming in because we're connecting, again, this consciousness that's connecting. It's really Atlantean, and it's really like this, you know, Egyptian Atlantean timelines that are kind of cross coming in. And I can't remember what I was going to tell you now. One of the things that I was pondering, it may not be a thing to be said, but Thoth is, there's a lot of knowledge and there's a lot of things that have been kept secret. And once you hear them, or once you study them, and once they enter in your just in your general energy, once you connect with someone that knows things, like even you guys being here on this live and connecting energetically with me, you have access to the things that I have downloaded, because we're having an energy exchange. Because it doesn't just happen in person. Yes, in person it's, you know, it's more like sometimes it happens and you don't even realize it, but intentionally we can connect anywhere. I mean, think about it. You know, we can connect. I mean, the CIA has like remote spies, right? Like remote viewing spies. We can all connect anywhere and we can all see anywhere. We're just not trained to do that. But now we're starting to be able to. And so when you plug into the energy of somebody that has learned certain things or understood certain things, then you're automatically in that frequency and it becomes easier for you. And this is, you know, part of what happens too when you come, you know, when you come on the lives and you come and do the meditations. A lot of times you start and you're like MoonBabes is saying, you're like, I don't really know how to do this, but you feel it and you know that it's doing something and you know that something is shifting and something is helping you. And then little by little it starts to make sense, right? Because you're just like, oh my gosh, because we come together and it's like this exchange of information. It's like the internet of our frequencies coming together when we connect. So I hope this is helpful, and we are, I don't know why I can't, if I remember what I was thinking about, Thoth, I will tell you guys, but really that was the link. The link is like the ancient knowledge and, all of this information that is being born inside of us and things that have not been told and knowledge that is being made available to us now by meditation. This is how you access these things. You know, and when you have a direct line, I think this is what I was talking about, that you get tested. When you're on the path of light, you get tested. And so this is one of the things that Thoth teaches as well, is that you always have to be careful because there's light and there's darkness. And if you could see all the things around, you would be, you know, it's not like everything is pretty. And so you have to use your discernment. You have to use, you know, you have to understand how things feel. It's not time to be ignorant or to not know how to navigate the unseen anymore. And I say ignorant in a sense that you just don't know things. So it's time to become enlightened. It's time to really make use of the light and to bring it into ourselves and to activate this knowledge that we have, to step into purpose, because we're here to change the world, in case you guys didn't know that. Let's do a little change the world dance. I hope that this is helping. Yay. Okay. You guys feeling everybody. Yay. I like what you guys are saying. Yes, you guys are understanding. Okay, awesome. The dark stuff out there discussion kind of scares you. So it's the thing of let's be aware of it. You know, like sometimes it's a matter of being aware and a matter of understanding. And Annie, again, as you go through the Sacred Chakras journey, you will learn different tools so that you know that. And that's why I am so picky about what I call the light protocols. And I'm so particular, not just because I'm a double Virgo at all, but because there are things, it's kind of like using protection. If you're going to fly in the astral plane, if you're going to get outside of your body, you use protection, you use tools. This is not just about your, you know, aura protection, but you use sacred geometry. You know, there's things that you want to use. You want to be smart about it. It doesn't mean don't do the things. It just means be aware. It's kind of like, you know, we fly on airplanes. There's a risk, right? When you fly on an airplane, you never know what's going to happen. You get in a car, you never know if somebody is like, you know, drunk driving is going to hit you. There are always risks. You never know, but then you learn how to manage yourself, right? And it's kind of the same thing. We're just learning how to do something that is unseen that, you know, we haven't been taught, so that's the difference. But the thing is, it's time to learn how to ride our own consciousness into this new wave, because we're meant to rise up. We're meant to be teachers. You guys that are here, I know that you are, and you're awakening to like all of this like flaming power and information inside of you. And it's like, you know, my teacher Gary would always talk about how we came here to teach. Those of us that are attracted to these things, specifically, that get, you know, that we're just like, ooh, and then you go through this awakening journey, you know, you're a teacher, you came to teach. And so let's get you, you know, in alignment with your path and with what you're meant to do. And so, and then let's make you productive with it, because a lot of people are like, oh, okay, now I got it, right? This is what I'm meant to do. And then it's like, well, what do you do with that now? Where do you go with that now? How does that work, right? How do I actually make money with it? How can I leave, corporate America, or how can I do something in between? I still have to support my family. I have to support myself, or whatever it is. And so this is really what this course is aimed at. It's taking you from either whether you know what you're meant to do on the planet, or you are figuring it out. There's something and you got to figure it out. Okay. That's our starting point. We're going to use numerology. We're going to use lots of cool tools. And we're going to go through what you came to teach on this planet. And we're going to go through all the reprogramming that needs to happen, all of the old beliefs. So we're going to do some work, and we're going to do belief work. We're going to do reprogramming work, and we're going to clear out all the stuff that needs to go that's limiting from stepping into purpose, from stepping into alignment, from choosing that higher job, that higher, stepping into living from a higher frequency. And then from there, we're going to shift into how do we, put this into action? How do we create a business? How do I actually package my gifts? Right? Like how do I get this message to people? How do I tell people what I do? What does that look like? How do I intake their money? How much do I charge? How do I structure this? We cover all of these things, right? What do I call my business? And a lot of times also it's like the branding, and what do I do? What do I call it? What is my brand? What is branding? Is a branding necessary? Can I just use my name? We're going to go through all of this. This is where you guys are going to love the fact that my background, this is where it comes in handy. This is where all the dots of my life connect, because my background is in business. I used to do business management and marketing and business development, right? In the corporate world. And so I have exposure to all of these things. And then of course I studied all of the world of awakening knowledge, because since my spiritual awakening, it was like boom, 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 right? And my awakening was back in 2007. So from there, it's been Reiki and theta healing and all of the healings and all of the access, and figuring out all these things that were innately happening to me, and figuring out my own gifts, and figuring out my own path of how to leave corporate America and a high-paying job to actually have a career, if you want to call it a career, in the healing arts, and an understanding, right? More than a career, it's more of like how you make a living in society in a way that works for you, where you feel supported and you feel loved and you feel like you can continue to go on this path, right? And in a way that is supportive and allows you to share the message with the world, because we didn't come to play small. And so that's, one of the biggest messages for me is we didn't come to play small. We came to change the planet, you guys. Like, we came to raise the frequency of the planet. We came to ascend the planet. We answered a call from Mother Earth. And so this is where we get to step into it. Now that we know that, hey, I'm awake, we're shifting from 3D to 5D. There's a lot of information that has been held secret that I'm now stepping into. I'm learning all these things about myself. I'm learning about the knowledge and the astral planes. Now let's change the world, right? Now let's help everyone else get onto this, the 5D bus, as I call it, so that we can tip the scales and we can actually live in a world where we are, the world that we want. We're creating 5D. This is how we create it. Everybody has to step into alignment, into soul path, it really is about the work that you would do, no matter where you were, right? If you were anywhere among the stars, if you were in a place where money didn't exist, what would you do for work? That's where you start to begin to unravel things. And we're going to talk about this in depth in Goddess on Mission. And you guys are going to figure this out. We're going to have this figured out by module 2. So it's really exciting. Module 1, actually our welcome call starts on this Saturday, you guys. Which is also the day after the new galactic year. So we are beginning this new spiritual galactic year with like a big bang, kind of like, big celebration, and in a sense of like, hey, let's step into purpose. This is the year. This is my galactic year. We're going to claim it. This is your galactic year. I said it as though I was you, affirming it. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to have the welcome call, and we're going to talk about different things. We're going to set intentions, and we're going to start talking about numerology and the path of our soul. And then we get to go through the modules. It's 10 weeks, and we do have modules that have specific content. It's very structured. And then we have catch-up modules because, you know, we have Q&As where we get to work through all of the different things. And you guys, we're going to have a bonus, okay? Those of you that registered in the first 72 hours got a 1 hour reading with me, okay? One-on-one. I had the rules at the very beginning. I think it was like by the 13th. And those of you that registered after that, but register by tonight because it's the 22nd and it's just the numbers because we work with numbers, right? So by tonight, register and you get a 30-minute one-on-one session with me. So I get to help you and you get to decide, you know, when we schedule this along the course, and we can talk about this, but that way I can help you one-on-one too. And then of course, I'm gonna help you guys as a group. But this is really exciting. I feel like it's, you know, the Sonia G school of stepping into Goddess on Mission. This is like amazing. You guys are gonna come out of this with like superpowers and making money and sharing your gifts with the world. And I can't wait. I get super excited about these things. So remember, the bonus is until tonight, which really goes, there's no time on that. It's not till midnight because I always say till midnight, but then my cart, like in order for me to close it, it's morning. So it's when I wake up. So get your stuff together, figure your things out, and there are payment plans. If you have questions, let me know. If you do decide that you want to pay it up front, you get a big discount. So check it out. There's different payment options. There's payment in full. And again, I have a bonus tonight for everyone. So it's Goddess on Mission time. If you're ready for it, if you're ready, well, I cuss a little bit in the thing. I say, if you're ready AF, right, to step into mission and to make money with it, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you're ready, this is written on my website page. So go and check it out. And it has the breakdown of the modules and everything that we're going to learn. So let me know if you have questions. The Sonia G school, I love it. Yay! Thank you, Claritha. Yes, yes, yes. Because there's just so much. And you know, you guys, it really became real. I wanted to, this course has been in the making since last July. It's literally been a year. And it's just because I've had clients, I've worked with clients, and some of you even that are on here that have asked me for help to figure these things out, right? And so I started seeing a pattern. I started seeing how I was doing it, and I started seeing the pattern in my one-on-one clients because I have private clients. And then it became real when I did my taxes this year, and I was like, holy shit, I have to have people that they have to step into their gifts. And a lot of the work that I had to do was the reprogramming work and the belief work behind it, which I've had extensive training in with my mentor, Gary Acevedo, which I'm going to try and talk into coming on the course. So send the vibes, not talk into, because we don't talk into, but we're going to see if it's in alignment for him to come and teach you guys a little something that helped me a ton during Goddess on Mission. So this is my original mentor since 2017. He is amazing. And so, but I will share a lot of the knowledge that I've gained from him throughout the years in this course of how to reprogram and how to get yourself on path, and you know, how to, so that you have the tools when it comes to business and when it comes to, and then you can also apply them to every area of your life, of course. But all right, yes, I know, exciting, huh? So so send the vibes. If it's in alignment, it's going to happen because that's how it works out. So I'm super excited for it. And I can't wait for all of you guys that have already registered. I'm super excited. Oh, this is a question that I've been getting a lot, is what days. It's now on the website. So if you've checked out my website before and the times and the days for the course didn't appear, but for some reason you keep going back to that page because you're like checking it in, right? You're like debating on it. Just refresh, because then it will appear. It will show you. Sometimes our phones or our computers cache the page, but it's our first call live on Zoom is going to be this Saturday, the 27th. It's at 3 p.m. Mountain and 5 p.m. Eastern. And then the live modules are going to be on Tuesday nights or Tuesdays during lunchtime. And so go and check it out. It depends on your time zone. Some of the modules for this course are going to be live from Italy. And we're going to have a meditation that's going to be live from one of the sacred sites on Italy on one of the weekends. So I am so excited. You guys are going to get so many good vibes. I can't even handle it. Super stoked. Ciara, could you save this live? Yes. So I have the new technology set up. It should download, which reminds me I probably should stop now because of course we went over the 20 minutes. I love you guys. I can talk to you forever. The live will be, you can catch it here. So it will be on Instagram for 24 hours and then you'll find it on my YouTube channel. So I should be able to download it. All right. All right, you guys, message me if you have any questions. I hope to see lots of you that are ready to step on mission in Goddess on Mission. Again, message me if you have questions. There are payment plans, options that are available, and we start on Saturday. Registration will be open until Saturday, but if you register by tonight, you will get the bonus. Okay? I love you guys. Mwah. So much love. Happy Monday. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, my website, www.moonbabetribe.com. Click on Goddess on Mission. Okay, bye you guys.